We are going to feel any of these energetic shifts at such a massive rate because we have a rawness. We now have an openness. When we have more light than density within, light is expansive. There's no boundary to it. It just flows and it's free. This is the Raw and Wild Hearts podcast. I'm your host and guide, Lori Reising, star channeler, transformational mentor, and sacred guide of lifetimes. It is my mission to have reawakened the ancient encoded knowledge, the sacred wisdom, and evolutionary truths that pulsate within every one of our cells. Join me in curiosity, intuitive guidance, and inspirational conversations where I will stand on the precipice with you. We did not come to dim our lights or play small. So I say, let's get to it. Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to the Raw and Wild Hearts podcast. I'm your host and guide, Lori Reising, and welcome to today's episode called Under the Surface. Now, I almost titled this episode Belief Codes Blowing Up, especially 2 days ago when this was really starting to come in, what wanted to come through right now. And in that massive initiation, which was the Jupiter Cazimi on the 24th, probably a moment that you will remember for a while. And then it came into Under the Surface because the belief codes really live within us. And Jupiter, which was the Jupiter Cazimi on the 24th, Jupiter is all about our beliefs. And they were being illuminated. And it was going to be not like just the easy, feel-good beliefs, the enlightened beliefs. It was going to be the challenging beliefs. And it was going to be the beliefs that were actually quite confusing. And it was going to be the beliefs about self. And then it was going to be the beliefs that came up about like an emotional protection that you may have been feeling. And then it would have been about how you responded or reacted in that space. Because what I'm looking at here for those of you astrology buffs is I'm looking at the Jupiter, Saturn, and Neptune square. Neptune is confusion. Saturn is constriction or challenge or invitation, however you want to look at it. Jupiter is expansion. And Cancer and Aries. Cancer is your emotional foundation, your emotional security. It's your family, your home, your heart, your love. It's how you give and receive. It's the divine feminine. It's the mother. And it's how you really open yourself up to the channel and intuitive guidance that you are. Now, if that energy gets what's coming through is like if that energy gets pummeled and we can't access that good, healthy masculine, it's going to go too far into those waters. And then we are going to rear up, we are going to react, and we are going to like go into our little crab shell to try to protect ourselves. But we're also going to go into overwhelm. We're going to go into hopelessness. We're going to go into more of that constriction or that fear or that doubt that could be coming up. And the waters are just going to like, it's going to like expand them all around us along with Jupiter because Jupiter's Cazimi on the 24th was illuminating all of this because Jupiter went into the heart of the sun and the Jupiter was in this, it's like this place that creates a lot of tension or constriction. And now it's been illuminated. So think back, it's only been 2 days when I'm putting this podcast out, but think back to what were you thinking? What were you feeling? And what were you believing? You know, I had a pretty intense day there. I have a lot of natal things going on, especially with my own natal Saturn with this aspect. And it felt really hopeless. It was like I was on this edge that I wanted to jump off because I could not stand the feeling anymore. So I just was going to make a new shocking decision in order to move out of that feeling. And this is a great lesson for all of us, especially those of us who have been tuning in and tapping in because and doing our work, doing the disruption, because we are going to feel any of these energetic shifts at such a massive rate because we have a rawness. We now have an openness. When we have more light than density within, light is expansive. There's no boundary to it. It just flows and it's free. Now, if we're more in our defenses, in our reaction, in our stress, constriction, right? Tightness within, then we're actually closing that off and it's keeping whatever is happening outside of us out. And it kind of helps us to have this level of, oh, what's the word I'm looking for? Blissful ignorance, even though we might feel it, but we're already in that state of stress or that state of constriction or control. So even if we're feeling that the energies around us and it doesn't feel good because we're holding up this boundary to keep the invitation out, it's not a different feeling because we're already in that feeling. But those of us that really have this level of vulnerability as our superpower and strength, like we really are allowing ourselves to move with the ebbs and flows, with the tides and the energetic shifts, and with the cosmos that are within, we're going to feel it like so deeply. We're going to feel it. Oh, and I absolutely was there. So, the lesson here is when we're in that period, whatever it is, do not make a big decision. The energies will always change, especially when you're available for the energies. You will change with them because you're available for evolution and the new iteration of yourself to move along. Those of us, again, who are like doubling down and staying in this control and force, then we're going to keep pushing the evolution out and we're going to keep trying to stay exactly the same, stay in our same expectation, stay in the linear path that we have going on. Now, it might make that come true, but it's also going to make the other everything else come true, which are all of the symptoms, the dis-ease, like the unhappiness, the separation of soul from self come in as well. So, I'm getting this message just to share on a biological level, and this maybe even is happening for you, but when you start to have something happening with your skin, we'll try to treat the skin. It's like we try to put a band-aid on the thing where we see the symptom. And this is just like a fundamental truth that it's something much deeper. And most of the time, if not always, it's going to be coming from your gut. Almost everything comes from our gut and our heart. Those are our first and second brains, PS. So it's coming from your gut. And when it finally comes out of your skin, it's because it's been the signals and the messages have been ignored for so long that it has to have a new way to let us know. I mean, these bodies are such beautiful self-care mechanisms as long as we're paying attention. But we've been trained to not pay attention. We've been trained to bypass. We've been trained to ignore our intuition, the symptoms, the signs, the messages, ignore the opportunities, like even the triggers and resistance, and just keep going. So you can look at your gut and your skin in the same way. And so when you get the message through your skin, how do you show up for it? Because it's asking you to do it different. It's asking you to do it a different way because the way that you've been doing it now has another symptom, now has another call or cry for help. And if you keep doing it the same way, but then you just add on whatever the medications are, the creams, whatever it is, it's going to come out another way because things are always going to come out in some way. Like, whether it's our biology, our energy, the imprints that we hold in our cells, the emotions, the feelings. So how about we just keep deciding to do it in a healthy way, even through the massive initiations that we're getting at this level because of the amount of light that's on the planet and within us that we are alchemizing now. So this is also why all of you that are leaders, because you're doing the work, you're disrupting, you're showing up time and again, this is why the hustle and grind and force isn't going to work for you anymore. This is why like the boxed in schedule during these periods, you got to blow it up. And I feel like that's where the title Belief Codes Blowing Up came in. What we know, I hope, at least what I know, is you get to a point where it's either like you're going to jump off and you're going to make a decision that's going to have massive repercussions, probably in your life, maybe in other people's lives, or you find your way to surrender. Surrender in the highest, surrender in the trust, surrender in the divine, surrender in the co creation. And that's probably going to be through simplicity. It's going to be through quiet. It's going to be through stillness, nature. Maybe it's through dance, through your breath, through the meditation, obviously, always through the present moment. And that's going to offer you something that your mind wasn't able to find. It wasn't able to grab because your mind just wants to get out of the discomfort. So for me, the Jupiter Cazimi was, whoa, it was hella intense. And I ended up at the end of the day, when I had a huge to do list, I ended up sitting on my tree swing and it was dusk. And I just sat there and it was like, I feel like now this has become a frequency that I'm going to apply to like everything that I'm manifesting and magnetizing in my life. Because I sat there and I just listened to the bird song. And every once in a while, I have this beautiful grove of evergreens. It's pretty much why I bought this property. And every once in a while, we'd see like a bird fly through, like low in the canopy, or there would be a couple birds, and then they'd sit on a branch, and I would just watch them. And then there was like two or three butterflies that were like, actually, I could watch these butterflies playing in the trees. And then I would hear like different types of birds every once in a while. And I kind of became obsessed with it. Like, even though I was feeling so sad, even though it was feeling so hopeless, because I went deep, 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 deep into the Cancer energies, into that feminine energy. And I wasn't really finding my way out of it, but just finding my way there renewed me. It like gave me something so peaceful within. And that actually helped me to transcend and always remember that, wow, we are so much bigger than these moments. And even like, I hope that this helps you. This is such a good practice. When you can just sit back, especially when it's like at an all time high of intensity within, like in all of your energy and in your heart, you can even just look over your life. Look at all of the different iterations that you've been. Look at the different evolutions you've gone through. Look at how there's been different people coming in and out, different jobs coming in and out, different states of love coming in and out. And just trust that. Trust that that will actually guide you. The more that you can sit in that rather than the squeeze of what might give you reprieve here or what might go away here. So the belief codes coming in is that Jupiter energy. So I believe that you had a lot of beliefs coming up that still aren't serving you. And if they're not serving you, they're probably not serving the collective. Because when your beliefs serve you, you've finally gotten yourself to the place where you are love. Your core is love. And you can start to see how everything else is operating in your life, right? You can see where the scarcity is operating. You can see where the doubts operating. You can see where the judgment's operating. You can see where the ego's operating. And this time it's like we kind of got like this big bang right in the beginning as Jupiter is going to keep going. And now it's going to help us expand the desire, expand what can really be true for us, and expand the freedom that you ultimately want from this belief that has power over you. And if in any way you're reacting because of this belief coming up and it doesn't feel good, it means that it's creating a struggle within you. It means it's not in full alignment or resonance with your soul, and that it does continue to have a power over you. And if you don't work with it now, if you don't really go in to like know that you are the ultimate healer of this vessel of yourself, like so much more than anybody else ever could be, because you came in to be the operator. You are the captain of this ship. Um, then you can, now I forgot what I was saying. Then you're going to actually be in such higher integrity without those struggles within anymore that you actually can operate from your core of love and from that unity consciousness. And you no longer have these needs outside of you to make it better or make it okay. So, yeah, we're not going to be able to just do life the way that we thought it had to for success. What's going to offer us the biggest space of success is moving and working with the energies and letting ourselves be so present to them without getting lost in what might be trying to consume us because of the old self or the old stuff that might still be operating a little bit there. So when I say under the surface, I'm talking about this because what I feel is like now this like super consciousness of us, which is literally like our celestial self, our cosmic being, it's it's coming from the heart. It's coming through the heart and it wants to come out. Like it wants to come out of the body and be the reality. And they showed me this message as I was sitting with this, and they showed me the heart as a planet. And I was like, oh my God, that is so freaking cool. So imagine your heart as a planet. How do you want to inhabit that planet? And what do you believe about planets? What do you believe about this great expanse, right? The quantum field, the infinite intelligence, because that literally is your heart. It's like all of the infinite intelligence, it all like got smooshed together and brought into this beautiful beating space that like it's the life force within us. And it's like so all encompassing in every level of our being, in every layer of our being, in every dimension of our being. And what if that really is the ultimate connection or connector to your remembrance? Yeah, that feels good. That feels right. So 2025, now that we've had this big shebang, this massive initiation that showed us some things, it really did. Are you paying attention? Now it's gonna have like easier energies to like, I get this like massaging them, but also to activate them and to step into the new identity of them. It's not really the new identity, it's who you always were. It just got really skewed, it got really suppressed, it got really muted through all the other stuff and the muck and the programming and the conditioning that we've been in. Yeah, so I really just wanted to come on and share a little snippet of the energies that are happening right now and a reminder that if you haven't done the work to clear those energetic struggles that came in, don't jump out of this container. Stay in the arena, work with it, find the freedom, and then let yourself move. It's going to be easier right now anyway because the energies are starting to lift and we're having much more trust. And it's like, oh, okay, I'm okay. You're okay. We're okay. Now, what do we do? How do we do this different? How do we work with this? And love, if you are ready to work with this right now, I have the next Octave retreat. It's coming up July 17th to the 21st. I now know why I scheduled this because I had honestly thought that I was phasing out of retreats in this kind of intimate capacity for now. And then I, at the last minute, decided to schedule one more because this property at Windy Goat Acres is so magical. It's so beautiful. This is the kind of stillness that comes and the kind of earth medicine that helps us in the way that we feel supported while we like kind of blast through these doors and we allow ourselves to be not just a version of ourselves, but we allow ourselves to have the experiences that we never even thought were possible or that we never even saw as a possibility around us. So if you're ready to have that kind of support with me by your side, with food as medicine, with a beautiful sacred circle of women, let me know. There's a link below where you can check it out. But I also want to say, I have one small cabin left and one camping spot left. For the camping spot, I can offer all the gear. So you can just show up and you get to have a lower investment in the retreat and you get to have this camping extravaganza under the stars. And also for the small cabin, I will give you a discount because it is smaller, but it'd be perfect for you alone or you and a friend, you and your mother, you and your sister, you and a grandmother. This is what I love so much about the containers that I hold, and especially my retreats, is they're intergenerational. And this is how we meant to come in and actually learn from each other in this space of sovereignty and wisdom and connection and care and like that core value of love. No matter what our quote unquote beliefs are, we get to come together in this space and experience something so transcendent together. It's really special. It's really unique. So if you, after this squeeze that we've just been if you want to really amplify the Jupiter energies and work with them in the higher octave of expansion in your life, let's go. Come have this experience with us. If you have questions about it, just send me a message. You've got my email, Lori at therawandwildhearts.com, or get on my socials. I'm in my DMs. I'm ready to like exchange and talk about it with you, because it would be a tragedy for the ones that were meant to be a part of the circle to let that fear and doubt mind hold you back from where you're truly meant to go in this life. And for everybody who's listening to this podcast, thank you so much. I really appreciate you being here, being on this raw and wild journey with me. Please, if you have a couple minutes, share a star rating and review on whatever platform you're on. And if you have one friend that you know has been going through it lately, send this podcast to them. This is really how we amplify and lift the collective, when we can have that confirmation of what we're feeling and the validation that we're not alone. Because the one thing that really holds us back is these deep states of isolation when the energies get hard. And this is where it's like when you invest in an environment that holds you to move through these doors, there's nothing like it. And so many humans will never even allow themselves to experience that kind of nourishment in this life. So, I'm sending so much warmth and love your way. Make sure to stick around for the next podcast coming out. It's going to be a great one. And until then, don't forget to keep looking up.